All right. How's it going, guys? It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been like 3 weeks. Yeah, look, sorry about that. Just look, had some personal stuff going on, and then just busy with other stuff. So look, that's just the simple reason I haven't been here. I'm not going to get into it. It's not really something I want to talk about. But look, I'm back. Hopefully back a bit longer this time. I know that my videos are sort of all over the shop when it comes to this sort of stuff, but just to explain to everyone why that is, like, look, I think there's a bit of a misconception about how old I am. Like, I'm not, like a 20, 21-year-old kid that, like, I don't know, I guess still lives at home and can get away with going out quite often and doing stuff. Like, I'm 30 this year, right? Like, so I've got full-time job, all that sort of stuff. So it's very hard for me to find time to make videos. But look, I'm trying, I want to make them, but it is hard, like adult life is hard, like you don't have a lot of time. So, yeah, look, just, it's why I haven't been uploading very much. It's why the outfield videos aren't as frequent as I'd like them to be, because honestly, it is just, by the time I get home, it's like, 4:30, 5 o'clock and the sun's gone down. So, it's not like it's daylight savings where I can go out and still do some stuff. But yeah, look, that's why the videos are far and few in between. Please know I am trying. It's just, it is hard, just with life, But, look, with that said, was going through the hard drive just to see if there was anything I could, mishmash together just to upload something. And I actually found a bunch of footage that I'll probably have running now of me using the Supertee Xtreme, my favorite tee, for a tee review. So that's what we're going to do today. So I got the footy, so I can just do a little bit of demonstration sort of stuff. And yeah, so we'll do a tee review on my favorite tee, the Supertee Xtreme. If I look over there, it's just because I got the recording stuff over there, so I just want to make sure everything's on screen and stuff like that. But it's been a while since I've done a tee review. I think the last tee review I did, the first tee review I did, was the Prince 2, and that was like 6-7 months ago. So yeah, been a while. Like I said in that video, for anyone that does remember it, anyone that's new to this video, look, I'm not a professional goal kicker. I have never been a professional goal kicker. I've never been a professional football player. I was never trained professionally in any sort of way. This review is purely just off my experience as someone that was self-taught from 15 years old. So I've been goal kicking 15 years, all self-taught. Like, obviously, so myself personally, I'm a very visual learner. So like the way I learned really was I'd watch people goal kick, not necessarily them giving tutorials, but just I would see sort of the general way they would do. I would test it, I would adapt, and then I found my style as life went on. But yeah, so just like to get that out of the way, because in the Prince video, there were a couple people in the comments saying like, a bunch of different stuff like, oh, this person said this person said that. Look, I get that goal kicking is a very personal thing. Everyone's different, but this is just based on my my goal kicking experience, right? So yeah, as I mentioned, Supertee Xtreme. Like I said at the start, it is my favorite tee, but I will do my best to be as unbiased as possible when it comes to the good, the bad, and the everything about the tee. Alright, so similar to the Prince tee, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the pros first, then I'll do the cons after, and then just sort of my overall feelings toward the tee. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly move the mic over, because I'm going to move the camera down in a second and give some demonstration sort of stuff. Alright, so pros. First pro, big teeth. Alright, and this one sort of goes together with it as well. I'll put two together, so it's got the big top teeth, and it's very well angled. Right, it's a bit hard to sort of line it up. So if I do that, yeah, so you can see it's sort of well angled, right? It's very well angled. And the reason that's a good thing, if I move this down here, hopefully you guys can see it. If I slide this back here like this, right? So you can lie the footy nice and flat. So myself personally, when I kick, let me see if I can get the angle right. It's very hard when you're looking at it from the different angle. Let's do that. Yeah, there you go. So look, you can lie the ball nice and flat, which opens up the sweet spot on this side here, which is how I kick. It's what I like. So look, you can really open up that sweet spot, or you can sit it up nice and high if you want to be hitting right under that point to try and get some more distance, right? So when it comes to the tee, that's sort of a mix of fix the GoPro again. The GoPro, the webcam. Alright, so when it comes to the tee, that right there, it's a mix of like the top teeth. So the way that they're designed, they're like, it's a bit hard to see on the camera, but they are like sort of flat topped, like they're not pointy where the ball's going to bounce off it a lot. They are a little bit on the flatter side, so the ball sits nice and tight, nice and snug on those teeth. And then also just the way that it's angled down, it allows you to lay the ball a bit flatter like I do, so that you can really hit through the ball and get it, like, at least for me, when I hit through the ball like that, I feel like I get more distance. Or you can sit the ball a little bit higher to get that sweet spot to get a bit more height on it. Alright, so yeah, really good teeth, really well angled, so there's a couple pros. Last pro for me as well, a little one that not a lot of people probably think about, and most tees are designed like this, right? Most tees are designed like this, and that's, they have sort of a hollowed out middle, right? Like, so for example, your Rugby Bricks tees, they just straight up have a hole there, like just straight up a hole, like you can see straight through it, right? But yeah, like that hollowed out middle is by design, because if that's not hollowed out, like the ball's going to be making contact with it, and that can, mess up your kick. So the fact that it's hollowed out, but it's hollowed out in such a way that it's still solid, right? Like, so, sorry, excuse me. Because of the way it's designed, because it's hollowed out, but it's concaved in, it still gives the support to the teeth to make them not super weak when the ball's sitting on top. So look, really well designed. Biggest pros, is just the teeth lets the ball sit really nicely on the tee, and then the angle of those teeth as well. So look, those will be the pros. We'll move on to the cons. Look, first con, very simple one, flat base. All right, flat base. So look, we're not professionals. I would say majority of the people that are watching this aren't professionals. They're not playing on A-grade fields like, your Penrith stadiums, your Combank stadiums, We're not playing at ANZ or Allianz, right? So a lot of the time, our fields are a bit bumpy. So like if I get the phone here like this, pop this back down for you so you can see it. Like the tee might slightly sit like that because there could be a bump in the grass which sits it up, which then means the ball is, angled off to the side instead of it's flat, straight up and down, right? So little things like that, because the ground sits like that. I believe I said it in the Prince review. So the Prince has little teeth on the bottom, what you can use to sort of scratch at the grass to sort of flatten it out a bit to give you that flat surface. Obviously this tee doesn't have it. So if you're using this tee and you're on a bumpy field, bad luck. You're going to have to just sort of make do. So that's probably the first con. Next con, this one's a bit of a weird one, but just sort of low tees in general. I'm not going to say a low tee is a con, but I feel like most people that watch review sort of videos are beginners in some capacity. So for a beginner, low tees probably aren't what you want, just because look, when the ball is set up and you're trying to kick it, it can be hard to hit the sweet spot on the bottom because it is so low to the ground. So look, it's not really a con, but it is in a little bit. So look, just the low tee sort of in general, just not the best for beginners, but good for people that have been goal kicking for quite a while. So for example, I know like Nathan Cleary, for example, he doesn't use this tee specifically, but he uses I believe it's the Elite 75, which is the same height off the ground, right? So, one of the best goal kickers in the comp uses a low tee. So, by all means, being a low tee isn't a bad thing, but just for a beginner, I would say it's a bad thing. So I'll put it in the cons section just for that. Right? And then the last thing when it comes to cons is the material that it's made of. So as you can see, I can just sort of squeeze it. It's pretty flimsy. Like I can, like scrunch it up like that, and it'll misshapen it a little bit. Like even if I hold it flat like that, you can see the base of it's misshapen. That's just from years of use, right? Look, at the end of the day, as dumb as it sounds, like stuff like that, where it can get slightly misshapen, like let's say hypothetically, you leave this in your bag for a little bit, right? You go down to the fields to goal kick one day, maybe your boot's been sitting on it and it's sort of pushed this in a bit, and then when you finally bring it back out, this is sort of sat in a little bit, if that makes sense, right? So what that would do is like if it was on uneven grass, it would raise that side a little bit, Right, so the tee sits a bit weird. So yeah, look, just a little one, but yeah, just the material is a bit flimsy, pretty easy to misshape. So if you do decide to buy a tee like this, I would recommend putting it at the very least on the top of your bag. Like if you put everything in there and then put it on the top, so it's less likely to get misshapen. Because I know I have had, so this is my second model of this tee. I had this tee when I was younger, and that's exactly what happened. I'd leave it in my bag, or excuse me, during the off season. I'd come back and like all my boots and all that sort of stuff would just be sitting on top of it. I'd come back and this side of it was like mangled, right? So yeah, another little thing just to consider. All right, but yeah, look, I'd say those are the sort of the pros and cons for this tee. I'll give my final sort of opinions on it. So look, myself personally, this is my favorite tee. I've been using this tee for many years, many years. Probably since I was 19. I've been using this tee, I'd say 18, 19. Because I used the, if anyone remembers it, the black one, the sharpshooter. I used that when I first started goal kicking, and then I gradually upgraded to this. So, yeah, I've been using this tee for a long time. I love this tee. It works perfectly for my kicking style, so I cannot sing its praises high enough. But, yeah, look, at the end of the day, hopefully the pros and cons that I've provided gives you a good idea as to whether or not you think this tee is for you. Look, the easiest way to break it down is tee holds the ball really well, holds it really well, lets you sit it high, lets you sit it low, so lets you hit a certain sweet spot really well. The main thing for it really is just like the material is not a massive thing at the end of the day, but the main thing really is that flat base and the fact that it's low. So if this is going to be your first tee, I'd probably recommend looking elsewhere, just because you want something where you can sort of make sure all the variables are in your favor, if that makes sense. So again, we'll go back to the Prince. Like the Prince has the little ridges on the bottom, so you can scrape the ground, so you can try and make it as flat as possible, as even as possible, so you can be consistent. All right. So yeah, look, overall for me, great tee, but yeah, look, a few pros, a few cons. If you're a long-term kicker and you like low tees, perfect for you, honestly. But yeah, look, that's going to be my Supertee Xtreme review. Like I said, I love this tee. It's my favorite tee. But, you know, look, obviously not every tee is for everyone. So hopefully this review helps you guys out if you're considering picking it up. Like if you guys know your kicking style and stuff like that, hopefully the things I talked about in this video can sort of help you guys out. But yeah, look, next video to come out, I'm not sure, if I'm honest. I actually put a little photo up on the side here. My foot's actually stuffed at the moment. I went down to the fields today just to test it, and my foot is stuffed. Like, you know, you'll see it in the photo. It's just all bruised along the toes and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty horrendous. I'll put a warning up, I guess, so people know to look away if they don't want to see it. But yeah, look, outfield video, I'm not sure when the next one will be. I'll probably do the next round preview. I know I haven't done those in like 3 weeks. Again, like I said at the start, I've just had stuff going on. So I'll probably do a round review. I've been thinking about doing a goal kicking misconceptions video. So if that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. But yeah, otherwise we'll just go from here and see how the rest of the year goes for me, YouTube wise, you know. Alright, but yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Obviously, tee review. After all this time, I still don't know how to end these videos. But yeah, look, I guess until the next time, guys, take it easy. Have a good one.